Welcome everyone back to another Expansion Team episode. It has been a while after, we had a nearly undefeated season, lost in the playoffs, and then I did some Texans videos, generational player episodes, and had a break. But now the Expansion Team Series is back. And we are in scouting, specifically just before the college playoffs. Memphis, Utah, Tennessee, and Oklahoma are in the playoffs. And speaking of Oklahoma, they have the star of the season, more specifically the star or the defensive star of the season, Alex Willard, 30 sacks and 1 safety. He has been phenomenal. He will come into the draft. 4-star senior, 89 overall. Good strength, good speed. Tackling could and needs to be better. But he's a good pass rusher. Also the personality. I mean, there is some improvement here. But he was really good this year. Speed rusher and had 30 sacks the years before. Not even 30 sacks combined. But he got really better in his 4 college seasons and might be a target for us. I'm looking to support our Munich Wolverines with a heavily defense-focused draft. At least that's the plan for round 1. And Alex Willard with 30 sacks should be a round 1 player. But let's look at other important players here in the college football year. Quarterback, not that important for us. Also, I won't go through the list here, but also most of them are not seniors. I think the quarterback class will be quite good in a few years, but not necessarily for this year. Passer rating, we can skip that. Rushing yards, also here, redshirt sophomore, another sophomore player, many players who are not declaring for the draft. So it could be a really thin draft class since most of the real players of the college football world are gone now. And all of those are players that got generated in the first few years. And since they mostly declare as a senior, we have this year as quite a gap, I guess, where not many good playmakers will be in the draft. But one player to at least highlight is Randy Ashworth, quarterback, and he leads the league in rushing touchdowns. He has been really good for UTEP, 90 overall, so might be one of the only quarterbacks or only good quarterbacks who declares for the draft as a senior. 99 work ethic, 93 sportsmanship. He's really good. Also fairly well-rounded. 87 speed is phenomenal. Of course, dual threat trait. And looking at the stats, passing not that great. Could be, especially when you look at the interceptions, there's room for improvement. But 14 touchdowns on the ground, nearly 1,000 yards. Had over 1,000 yards in his first season. So Randy Ashworth, a true dual threat quarterback, will be interesting to see where he goes in the draft. And receiving, I guess the only player to highlight is Louis Fitzgerald, senior for Stanford. I mean, he was also a player who got better over the years. First year with 3 touchdowns and 14 drops. Now it's nearly the other way around. 14 touchdowns, 5 drops. Played 11 or started 11 games, played 14, 14 touchdowns and nearly 1,500 yards. He's really good, also very well-rounded, good personality. We don't not necessarily need a wide receiver, and that's why we should take a closer look at defense, specifically at sacks. I already highlighted Alex Willard with 30 sacks. And he's also one of the only ones who will be in the draft out of this list. Another person to highlight is Neil Cooper, Ohio State bull rusher, 90 overall, 82 strength. So that's actually worse than Willard. Personality is just outstanding. and he had 19 sacks, so not 30, but also quite some other productive seasons. In the end, with 49 sacks, it's lower than Willard, but Neil Cooper is definitely someone to highlight. And as you can see in the list, we do not see Joshua Dooley. He was someone I highlighted in the last few college football seasons because of his production. This year he did not start for Oklahoma, could be due to Alex Willard. Great personality, 90 overall, 79 strength, 80 speed. Tackling is horrible. No traits, but he had 78 sacks over 4 years. Last season, he was the player who led the league in sacks, did not declare as a junior, as I said in the game. Most players declare as a senior. And this season did not start, but still managed to get 13 sacks, which is honestly quite impressive in my opinion. Value per snap 2.42. A season grade B+. Let's directly compare that with his teammate in Oklahoma, with Alex Willard, the standout edge rusher. Here we have him. Let's take a look at game logs, 3.09, so better value per snap. Did play, of course, more snaps, but those two edge rushers, definitely someone I want to highlight. And yeah, I guess we do not need to go through many more stats, interceptions. We took a look at Drew Banks was his name, if I remember correctly, cornerback, 3 interceptions, but he's not in the list anymore, but still should be the highest rated corner who's going to declare for the draft. So also someone to highlight. He did not have the best projection or production this year, but he is the highest rated corner. Drew Banks, as I said, Penn State, shutdown corner is a great trade to have. Went second overall, was the second highest recruit in our very first season in college football. He had not that many interceptions, but still shutdown corner is a nice trade to have. So if he falls, could be also a first round target for us. But I'm looking to support our edge group, although we had the highest sacks in the NFL with the Munich Wolverines. But first, to round up college, let's go through the playoffs. Tennessee against Utah. Tennessee wins the Cotton Bowl, and in the other game, Oklahoma beats the undefeated Memphis Tigers. I'm not that great in college football, so college football championship, you have Tennessee against the defensively stacked Oklahoma Sooners, and Oklahoma loses. So Tennessee is the college football champion. Let's look at production. Willard with a sack, but that was not enough. So he adds to his total because, I mean, I took a look before the college playoffs. Now he's at least at 34 sacks. Oh wow, he had 3 more sacks in he had 3 more sacks against Memphis. That is crazy. He's crazy good. Alex Willard, right now my top target for the draft, but yeah, I don't think that this is realistic. He's likely to go top 10 and we do not have that pick. At least I don't think we have. Let's take a look at the awards. I think no surprise that Willard wins an award. Other than that, we have Grover Mitchell, as I said, one of the QBs who's a freshman and will be in the draft in a few years. Alex Willard, Defensive Player of the Year, yeah, not surprising. And other than that, Randy Ashworth, someone I also highlighted earlier, the quarterback, wins Most Outstanding Senior QB, so it should be a lock. Round 1 player, but who knows how the game translates the player to the pro version. Other than that, yeah, not many seniors. Actually, no one except from Willard and Ashworth. So let's skip the season awards and take a quick look at the Senior Bowl. Ashworth is in here. And yeah, other than that, the best O-liner, Alexander, is a senior. So Tim Alexander, someone to highlight. 86 run blocking, 71 pass blocking, no trade. Wow, had a lot of pancakes, no sacks allowed in his college career. So Tim Alexander, definitely someone to write down for the draft. Also Carol Meredith, 82 overall, athletic blocker, that's always nice. No sacks allowed for him as well. Did not start every game for Florida State, but also a good option for O-line depth. Let's see what he can do. And let's look at the North team. 74 sacks is quite impressive. James Story. I remember the name, pretty sure that we also looked at him. But this is just a different story. I'm pretty sure that I made a joke earlier as well. But yeah, I don't know. The personality ratings are really great. Very well balanced. And has two really good traits. Athletic blocker and fierce competitor. Not sure if we need a tackle. Let's take a look at our team in a second. But yeah, no sacks allowed for him. He's really, really good. Yeah, let's look at other outstanding performers. Fitzgerald, we already highlighted. And other than that, yeah, on first side, 82 tackles, 3 interceptions, not bad for Joan Withers. And yeah, I mean, no one really to highlight here except from Willard, but we talked about him a lot. Jones, also someone really interesting. Had 24 sacks, if I saw that correctly. 81 overall. Great personality, really great personality. Speed rusher, and also good production. So Dennis Jones, with the overall, if that really translates to the game, he might actually go undrafted or in the late rounds. Could be a good depth pickup from Georgia Southern. So really interesting player here. And Abrams, yeah, also good production. So edge rusher, there should be someone that we can find. Will be interesting. So let's quickly see how they performed in the Senior Bowl. If there's anyone who stands out. Ashworth, well, good game for him. So that should really mark him as the top QB in the draft. Suoza also played a really good game, had the best QB rating from BYU, great arm. Gunslinger, I mean, I know someone from BYU who could be a gunslinger with a good arm, who did not work out in the NFL, but this is just, wow, this is really good. Look at those numbers, 50 touchdowns in year 1. He's crazy good, but yeah, we thankfully do not need a quarterback. And other than that, running back, I think we're set as well. Also for wide receiver, our focus should be on the defense. And someone to highlight here is Hansen, because he had 10 tackles. Also really great personality. Coverage linebacker, workout fanatic. That is what you want to see. Really, really good. I just did a circle around his name. I need to draft him. Hopefully he does not go first or round 1. And we have a chance to actually pick him in the later rounds. 4 interceptions, 11 sacks, lots of tackles. I mean, great player, awesome personality, very well rounded. And especially with coverage linebacker, workout fanatic. He should be really great. And speaking of great, I saw Morris had 6 sacks. Kenneth Morris, speed rusher, 85 overall. Did not talk about him yet. Great or decent performance, but yeah, with the Senior Bowl performance, he could be someone to highlight. I will also write down his name. Other than that, let's look at interceptions. No one here. But yeah, I mean, Great Senior Bowl performances by a lot of players. I just wanted to quickly check out the O-line if there's anyone to highlight, but yeah, Pancakes, Meredith with 4, White with 4. I mean, he's an interesting guard. Also, athletic blocker, did not allow a sack. So lots of players with cool traits, awesome personality, who we could draft. So I mean, that has been a long scouting part here in the college football season. But yeah, since the last episode has been a while, I think it was worth it to take a deeper look at the draft prospects. I wrote down some very, very interesting names that we could use in the draft that's most likely going to happen in next week's episode. But first, let's take a look at the Munich Wolverines and start into free agency. Here we are back at the pro football version, Munich Wolverines. And yeah, as you can see, 14-0 record, lost in the playoffs. If you want to see the episode again and get a refresher, feel free to get back, but please come back. Because we are now in the fun part of the season, in the off season, and there is quite a lot to do. Upcoming free agents, we have Wyatt Teller, David Andrews, Marcus May, Marcus Peters, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Especially the first 4, I could make an effort to sign them back in free agency. But yeah, I did not sign them back during the season. Another player to highlight is Casey Case. Made a good first impression game manager trade. And yeah, played for us in the playoffs and won us the title. He has been a great QB, 5th round pick, and I want to keep him for at least 1 more year. So he gets the first refusal tender, 2.2 million. I'm fine with that. I guess, with the contract extension, he wanted to have way more. So let's keep him for 1 more year and take a quick look at the stats to see what we need to do in free agency, basically. Passing, all good. Caleb Williams, 41 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. He had some problems with interceptions, but 41 touchdowns is the best of his career, also best QB rating. So we won't change anything here. Rushing, Bijan just won MVP again. Pretty sure that he won that. Oh no, he won Offensive Player of the Year last year. Now also MVP. 16 touchdowns, nearly 1,500 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns and 400 receiving yards. He's just outstanding, always around the 4.4 average. Yes, no fumbles. He is our starting running back for 1 more year or 2 more years. Then we need, unfortunately, to extend him. Other than that, Tank Bixby also decent player. 7.4 average is really good. So great player for us. He will stay also for the next 4 years, all-purpose running back. That's something we want to see. And also, if you watch preseason, he could play a big role in reality and get some snaps in the regular season for the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken. Receiving, as I said last time, we do not need to draft wide receivers. Brock Bowers led the league in touchdowns. He's outstanding, former 1st overall pick for us, 94 overall. He will stay our tight end number 1. Jalen Waddle, one of the best trades I've ever made in this game, 88 overall. Will be expensive also for the next years, but 96 speed is just something that really, really helps our quarterback. 11 touchdowns, 2 times over 40, 24 times over 20 yards. So he's our playmaker in the offense. Homer Roberts, also great rookie year, former 3rd round pick, 5 touchdowns, 4 drops, can only get better. And he looks really, really good. Can develop his player skill here. But Emeka Egbuka, also former 3rd round pick, got also some snaps, and Seth Jones is here on a 4-year contract. I mean, I don't know what to say. We have really great wide receivers. And that's why I want to focus on the defensive side in the draft or on the O-line. We'll take a look at that in a second. Trevon Walker, free agency acquisition, 5 sacks, leads our team in tackles. He has been really good for us and is on a long-term contract. And it's a pretty cheap one, honestly. $9 million for our starting star linebacker. He's one of the cornerstones for the upcoming years. Not Marcus May, because he's going to leave the team. Let's see what we can do here. Other than that, AJ Terrell, our cornerback number 1, 86 overall. I mean, cornerback number 1 if Marcus Peters leaves. There are a lot of question marks that we have. Tackles for loss, also Trevon Walker leads the team. And we had the highest sacks in the league. Not one player who stands out, but multiple ones. Cyrus Moss, surprising good first year for the former 5th round pick out of Miami. 79 overall, 80 agility, 79 speed, no trades, but 6 sacks and 4 forced fumbles. Did not remember that. Only started 9 games. Cyrus Moss might be the edge rusher for our future. Let's quickly look at the depth chart to see which positions we actually need. Before checking the O-line, totally forgot that. But we have some players who can take over here. Charles Leach is the center who will replace David Andrews. And we have Tyler Smith. Totally forgot about him. He can take over for Wyatt Teller. He's on a long-term contract. So yeah, that makes sense and explains why I did not want to sign back Wyatt Teller. O-line, the only thing I want to focus on, or could focus on, we have Lyle Collins as our starting left tackle. Signed a new contract. Is also already 33 years old. Let's see what the draft brings. I highlighted James Story as a tackle I want to draft. On the other side, Jack Nelson, former 2nd round pick, athletic blocker, no sacks allowed. So perfect rookie season for him. And yeah, defensively, Mason Smith and Mazi Smith, our great Smith defensive tackle combination. Will Anderson, Cyrus Moss. We also have Amori Arbor, totally forgot about him. I think we're fine there. Could, of course, use a star edge rusher, especially since we don't know what to do with Will Anderson yet. He will have 2 years left on the contract. Yeah, 88 overall, athlete, so that's great. But the sack production is not really that great. Needs to be better, otherwise he might be a trade candidate next year. Linebacker core looks awesome. Cornerback, as said. If we lose Marcus Peters, we still have pretty good depth. We have Mike Hughes, who has 3 years left on the contract. Pretty heavy contract or cap hit next year. Zone corner, great in interceptions. And yeah, AJ Terrell as well. He does not have a trade good contract for us, really good contract, and 17 interceptions in his career. Free agency edition, that's why the contract is so good for us, and also why we could let Marcus Peters go. We have Devin Coles, undrafted 3 years ago, 76 overall, great personality, also zone corner. No interceptions yet for us, but could play a bigger role in the next season. And safety, yeah, we have quite a good situation on free safety with Richie Grant and Antoine Winfield Jr. Not sure if someone could take over on strong safety, maybe Antoine Winfield Jr. Let's see about that, because on strong safety, we're going to lose Marcus May, still have Cole Bishop, 2nd year former 4th round pick, fan favorite. So maybe our fans want him to get snaps. And honestly, with that, I'm pretty fine with not bringing any of our top 4 upcoming free agents back. I missed to look at the O-line stats. That's definitely something I need to do. So offense, And first look at our tackle situation. Collins and Nelson both without any sacks allowed. So really good tackle duo, especially from our second round rookie Jack Nelson. On center, Charles Leach, do we expect him to make the next step? He has been a rookie, 74 overall center. Tenacious blocker, that sounds great. No sacks allowed, but also, I mean, in the end, he did play 311 snaps. I mean, we could give him a shot. I don't know if it makes sense to spend all the money on David Andrews, who has been really good, but who's also 34 years old. So why not, and allowed quite a few sacks, why not give Charles Leach the starting spot? I'm pretty fine with that. And guard, as said, Wyatt Teller is going to leave. Tyler Smith could take over, and Quinn Miners, our star guard, long term will stay with us. And that also makes room for Tyler Smith to take over the starting guard position. So honestly, this team looks really, really good. And if we take a look at the contracts, I mean, we lose key players, but we drafted fairly well to replace them. And now we have nearly 50 million left to spend in free agency and the draft. For the draft, I mean, we highlighted some players. We will go through that in more details. And we have the Commanders' first round pick. Totally forgot that. And lots of second round picks. I'm pretty sure that I will trade something. Commanders, won the division, unfortunately. So not that big of an advantage for us. We will pick, I guess, then late round 1. But first, we need to go through free agency. All right, so let's go through free agency to finish up the episode. I made a few offers. Tackle Sam Cosmi. I really like the outlook of him. 83 overall, 28 years old. Could be fairly cheap due to the overall. Only allowed 1 sack, so he could be someone we might add to the team. I still don't know what to do with him. But I mean, our left tackle is also not getting any younger. Guard Andrew Voorhees, I'm not making an offer to sign back Wyatt Teller. So he might actually be a good possibility for us as a backup. Athletic blocker, did not allow a sack, so he's high on the list I want to get. Corey Luciano, we need a center. We can give our, I guess, 4th round pick a shot. But Luciano, former 2nd round pick, great personality, really well-rounded athletic blocker trade, also did not allow a single sack for the Jets. And another player I really like, Jalen Hyatt. I said I did not want to sign a wide receiver. And honestly, looking at his receiving stats, he did also not play too much. So we might get him fairly cheap. Let's see. I'm really impressed by his 92 speed. 69 hands really worries me. But he's natural talent and deep threat. So he could be really, really good. 8 million, maybe let's update the offer and make it a little bit less, because he really did not play too much for the Giants. We need to get him, need to get him is a little bit extreme. We could get him and make a really, really fast wide receiver core with Jalen Waddle and Jalen Hyatt. Other than that, Octavian Smith was undrafted, as I saw. He has 88 speed. Other than that, not much. Derek Stingley and Travius Hodges-Tomlinson for cornerback. Marcus May, because we have that much cap space and not a superstar that I want to sign. So why not sign him back and make him a mentor for a new fan favorite on strong safety. And let's complete the first day. See if we can already sign someone. Day 1 does not seem like it. I did not make an offer for David Andrews, and he's now gone 14.9 million. That was not something I was willing to give him. But yeah, Cosme, we are second place. I'm not making a higher offer here because we don't really need tackle for the other players. We are still in the lead, so let's complete the day. Did not sign anyone. Ulysses Bentley, really interesting running back signing for the Niners. 86 overall. I saw him. He's really expensive. Former 5th round pick. Did play for Pittsburgh. Had solid seasons. We thankfully do not need a running back. And the Raiders also signed Wyatt Teller, who's also now gone 18 million. That is the maximum amount for a guard. Also not something I was planning to give him. Luciano, we are now on second place behind the Eagles. We could get a little bit higher here. Let me check him again. I mean, he was fine, but I don't think that we're going to offer the amount the Eagles are going to give him. For the rest, we're still in the lead. Do not care too much about Sam Cosme. So let's maybe put another million to Luciano. But yeah, I guess we're lucky when we sign one free agent signing before the draft. I'm currently lowballing everyone. So yeah, we do not need or really need any one of those guys. I'm pretty happy with what we're currently having. So let's put another million to Luciano. Still think that this will not be enough. And complete the day. Still without a signing, and Luciano joins the Browns for 13 million. Yeah, we were never going to offer that amount. Cosme is really wanted by everyone. Still no one who signed for us. I would really like to add a cornerback. Hyatt would be great. I mean, there are different possibilities. I'm not offering more because, yeah, I want to wait for the draft and see what we're doing there and maybe spend the rest of our money after the draft and free agency. So let's stick with our offers. And we get Marcus May back. That's good news for us. He could start, played a Pro Bowl year last year, had 3 sacks, 1 interception. So could actually start or be the backup behind our new fan favorite. Yeah, he's great. Good addition for us. Stays in Munich, knows the team. Other than that, Hendon Hooker, interesting signing for the Broncos. Former 3rd round pick here for us. 87 intelligence, played for Kansas City. Backup job. Oh, but he had some games. Now with the Denver Broncos, stays in the division. Sam Cosme signs for the Eagles. So last free agent report, we're still in the lead for everyone we want to get. So please, another signing before the draft. No, does not seem to be the case. Yeah, so with that, we have some holes in the team. But I mean, we still have the draft. We still have loads of 2nd round picks. Draft sleepers. Let's see if there's anyone we already know. Did not see anyone. But yeah, the scouting will be something we're going to do next episode. So, I mean, not necessarily the scouting, but also, yeah, the draft itself. Jeremiah Alexander is projected to go 1st overall. Did not take a look at him. Norman Tyler, quarterback. And Andrew Boosie, quarterback, did not see them. Neil Cooper, Joshua Dooley, both were on our list, are expected to go very, very high. Jonathan Maddox, guard. Other than that, I think there was no one we had on our list. So James Story, the tackle, Hansen, the linebacker, Neil Cooper, Alex Willard, especially the edge rusher. Players we could take a closer look at in scouting. And yeah, I mean, this will be something we're going to do next episode. Quickly check how the scouting sheet turned out, but especially focus on the draft and then focus on the start of the season. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the expansion team back after such a long time. I'm really looking forward to the draft. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great week. See you next time. Bye bye.